So it's time to say goodbye to the iPhone 12 mini. Now, why do I say this? Well, I'm saying this because essentially if you try to go buy an iPhone 12 mini right now, you actually cannot do this on Apple's website. So you'll see right here, if we scroll down, only the 12 is available. Where is the 12 mini? They took it out of there. And they did keep around the iPhone 13 mini, so technically it still does kind of survive, but you can see the 13 mini had larger cameras, a little bit of a heavier design, a little bit of a deeper notch right there versus the 12 mini. So goodbye 12 mini. So my aim of this video is to kind of tell you if this is something you might want to consider still getting, maybe used or something like that down the line, or if it's just time to just write this one off totally. So goodbye to the lightest iPhone since the iPhone SE. So the iPhone 12 mini was the sleekest, the lightest, thinnest iPhone that we have actually seen since the iPhone SE 2016. Now you can see that the iPhone 13 mini, if you look closely, it's actually a hair thicker and the cameras do stick off the body a little bit more. So I actually prefer the iPhone 12 mini when it comes to that thin and light design. So if that's something you're looking for, the 12 mini is the move for you, even if you're going to try to find this secondhand. The 12 mini just feels incredibly light, incredibly thin in the hand, and you're not going to find an iPhone this small anymore. Not even the 13 mini feels as light as this one. So I'm going to miss that just a little bit. Now the display on the iPhone 12 mini is also still very good. This is a Super Retina XDR OLED display. It does come in with HDR10 support and it has a 1200 nit peak. So even though this is a smaller iPhone, you are working with around 625 nits of daily brightness, nowhere near the Pro level. It still was plenty bright, and I always liked, the iPhone 12 mini's display. Nothing really wrong with it. It also had incredibly sharp text because Apple did cram well over 2340 by 1080 pixels and a 5.4 inch display that fits easily in the hand. And yes, this is able to be updated to iOS 16. So if you want to pick one up and update to iOS 16, you're going to be good to go. So overall, it's not really goodbye to this display because Apple has kept it around and is still selling the iPhone 13 mini, as well as even the current iPhone 14 that just launched has a similar panel, a little bit higher brightness than this one, but this you can still get on pretty much all the new iPhones, this type of display. So I won't miss this too much, but the size of display, you're not going to really find much. And I don't know, do you guys think that Apple's going to launch another mini in the future? I don't see it happening, as this didn't really sell incredibly well. Let me know your thoughts on that one down below. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the Apple A14 Bionic. Besides the iPhone 12, there's not many A14 chips left in the lineup, although there's plenty of Apple A15 chips. A lot of people upset. They think the iPhone 14 is exactly the same as the 13 because of that chip. Not quite. We'll talk about that in an upcoming video. But the A14 Bionic clocked in at 2.99 gigahertz and 4 gigs of RAM means that this phone just flies through basically anything you could throw at it. And this is an area where Apple has kind of stalled a little bit. They are beating the heck out of the Android competition, but in terms of chip speed, you don't really see too much differences from like an A13 all the way up to the current day iPhone in everyday usage. Now, technically, when you are benchmarking them, they do really perform, but who really cares about the benchmarks anymore these days? I don't know. In reality, the iPhone 13 mini, 12 mini is going to perform just about the same. And, any other iPhone that comes out today, as long as it's still rocking a 60 hertz display like this one, the iPhone 14 and 14 Plus, I'm talking to you, this mini performs just about the same. So pretty solid here with the A14. It's not really a big issue whatsoever. Now, in terms of software, I'm actually going to install iOS 16 right after this video. I wanted to make the video first, and then I'm going to upgrade to 16 here because I want to showcase that you're still getting software updates. You can even do iOS 15.7 if you want to do that update right there. So how many years left on the iPhone 12 mini? Well, if you look at Apple's current track record of updating their phones, about 5 years, this one launching in 2020, you should have at least 3 years left under your belt. So if you buy this one now, it's not going to be out of date for a very long time. So it's technically not really out of date. It's just kind of out of Apple stores. But that's why we're saying goodbye, because you can't just walk up and buy one anymore, which is Kind of lame. They probably could have kept this around, you know, just for one more year, since they kept the iPhone 12 around, just dropped the price even more. But then they probably didn't want to sell this at, you know, a $499 and touch into the iPhone SE sales. Who knows? But they kept the iPhone 12 around. I'm guessing to get a little bit more higher price on that one. So let's say goodbye to this weak battery on the iPhone 12 mini. Now, the mini right here does give you at least a medium day, but I mean, this thing never really made it through the day for me. If you're a heavy user, this is not the phone for you. So definitely going to be a full day for regular usage, but not for people who use their phone a lot. So very disappointing. That's one of the main reasons why a lot of people steered clear of the mini, and especially at the price point. They wanted like $700 for this phone, and it definitely did not perform like that in terms of battery life. But the 13 mini rectified that issue. It fixed it. So if you want better battery life, spend a little bit more, get the 13 mini and be happy. But if you're willing to sacrifice the battery, you will get a lighter design, a sleeker, kind of lighter feel overall. So definitely that's where the 12 mini shines a little bit over the 13 mini. It's just a hair smaller, feels a hair lighter, and that all adds up when you're looking for the smallest, lightest phone in the mini series. So let's say goodbye to the iPhone 12 mini's camera system as well. Now, technically, we're not really saying goodbye 100 because Apple has been using this dual 12 megapixel setup for years already, and even the current iPhone 14 that just launched is getting something very similar to this, still giving you the 4K 60, the ultra wide. We didn't see no 8K video, anything like that. So overall, the iPhone 12 mini still has a beautiful camera system, and I always praise this for being one of those phones you can just be really low key about your photos and stuff. People aren't going to know you're taking photos or videos. Look at your hand basically covers the entire camera. Who's going to know you're taking a video right there? Seriously. So it's definitely super portable, super light. Throw it in a pocket. This can be awesome for people on the go, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, whatever you're doing really quickly. Just throw it in the pocket, throw it in the bag, and be on your way. Also, a fantastic front-facing camera. And yes, if you're wondering, I'm shooting this video on the 13 Pro, amazing camera. This one has a pretty amazing front-facing video as well. You can do 4K 60, match it up with the rear. Again, love this little setup. It just does fantastic video and photo. It's almost pro level, honestly. So still, you're gonna get a ridiculously good camera. So I'm looking back to the years when you could get the SE for these cheaper prices. Now that you could find the iPhone mini on places like eBay, for example, a little bit cheaper, maybe well under $400, you're getting ridiculously good cameras compared to what you would have got a few years ago when you bought a used iPhone. In terms of colors, before we update, you no longer get these nice live wallpapers. Officially on 16, they kind of removed these out of there. But you'll see that we have multiple colors. This came in a blue. It's a little bit of a darker blue. This also came in a green color, which is cool. It's like a lighter minty green, like in the middle of that wallpaper. Also the red, which is this red right here. A lot of people were like, I don't really prefer that red. Some people like the deeper red. Some people love the coral looking red. It's really up to you. But if you really like this lighter, pinker looking red, you'll definitely like iPhone 12 mini and iPhone 12. Also, there was a white color. In addition to that, they had the midnight, which you see right here. And specifically, a lot of people like the purple color on the regular iPhone 12 series. Not specifically the deep purple, that's a different color. I'm talking the regular lighter purples that you'll find on the 12 and 12 mini. So if you are looking for those specific colors like purple and maybe this darker blue, you might have to go with the iPhone 12 mini. There are a couple colors that are specific to this phone, but other than that, I think the iPhone 13 mini had better colors. Deeper red. It does have a green, like a very dark green color. Also, not very often does Apple launch pink, and they launched pink in the iPhone 13 mini. But at the end of the day, are we going to miss this phone? I'm not sure a lot of people will, but I think if Apple gets rid of the mini series altogether, which I think might be the fate of the iPhone 13 mini, that might be a little bit sad. So let me know your thoughts on the iPhone 12 mini. Do you have one? Did you get rid of it? Do you don't care? You just don't care about minis in general? Or do you want to see Apple continue this series? Or do you want to even see Apple bring maybe a mini to a cheaper price point with maybe a single camera or something like that, where they can get it in the SE territory, something like that? Let me know your thoughts down below. Thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Nick here. Be sure to be well, and peace.